This is the girl, by the way, from the previous video where I do it from sphere for an hour, all his life, but most of you already know that. This video won't be for anatomy or for sculpting or for something, it will be for this kind of a dull subject of retopologizing. Yeah, we all like kind of hate it, but we have to do it. It's not bad, I mean it's relaxing, whatever. So, first what we need to do in any program that we retopologize in, we need to have a base, which in most programs is just a plane. So here we can append a plane, for example, and it will be okay. But what I like to do is a little bit more complicated, and yeah, because I can start in any surface, so like this. I just made a little mask. Then I go to extract, accept, then I just control shift on the top group to make it only this visible, then del hidden. Of course, if you don't have this menu or all those menus here, custom menus, I have videos in my channel how to do it. Default Zbrush interface is hostile, in my opinion. It's not workable, and most people are giving up Zbrush when they start it because of the default Zbrush interface, because you cannot change your brushes easily, and it's just not bad, not good. But this retopologizing thing is mostly for people who are kind of not new to Zbrush. Whatever. Of course, if you want to do this kind of a UI, you can check it out in my channel. You can find it, how to make your custom UI and how to make a custom menu like this with the most used functions in Zbrush. Very useful, very much speeding up your workflow. So first we did this. Let me check out what I did. Okay, a lot of polygons, so I will just zero mesh it. And then I will leave only one polygon and del the others. So this is my way of working. Yeah, I know it's a little bit odd, but still. Yeah, and I'll make it bigger because we don't want it to be so small. And this will set the size and everything of your polygons. Of course, you can change it later, it's not a problem. So, we may start now. We may start. So del hidden, okay, I pressed it. How to start retopologizing and what we will use to retopologize in ZBrush. Yeah, we can use the retopologizing brush, Retopo brush or something, but no, we will not use that. We'll use the Z-modeler brush, but with certain functions. So I've done that for like 3 months now. I retopologize all my characters in ZBrush. They are full characters with clothes, with teeth, with eyes, with everything. I retopologize only in ZBrush. And then I just put them a little bit in Blender just to fix their UVs, because I do the UVs, the base UVs, also in ZBrush. So almost everything I do in ZBrush, and then just a little bit of a normal 3D program, not normal, but a 3D program like Blender or Max, I use for just fixing, just making the UVs fit the canvas. Okay, so how to start? Go to Z-modeler brush, so BZ Z-modeler brush here. And by default, Z-modeler brush is when you go to an edge and press space, it's insert, single edge loop, okay. When you go to a dot, it's not move. I think by default, maybe it's move, who knows. And if you go to the polygon, it's by default it's QMesh, okay. Let's turn on local symmetry, just in case. So, we have to do something else. We have to change some of those options and save this brush as our Z-Retopo brush, for example. And it will be fine. So first, we go to edge. And we go to move. No, not to move, to extrude. Yeah, this is a new function, extrude. This wasn't here like maybe like 8 or something months ago. It's in the newest ZBrush. So 2021. Before that, it didn't exist. So extrude, edge loop, it's everything. We just click extrude, everything here will be the same except snap to surface. We have to snap to surface, turn it on. Only this option here, turn it on. Everything else will stay the same. And when we do that, when we drag, just drag without any key combination or something, just drag and you will see how it will fit, not fit, but it will snap to the surface. we can start to topologize. But first, let's go to the dot, move, snap to surface also. Amazing. So now, when we move the dot, when we move the vertices, they will snap to the surface. So the problem with this is that our new polygons will be exactly in the level of the base mesh. This is a little bit of a problem, and I fixed that by just clicking transparency and ghost, or just transparency only, and I use it like this. Yeah, I know it's probably not the most comfortable thing to use, but you can do it. And also we have to be careful not to click on the polygon, because we'll do this. So we go here and press do nothing. So when we accidentally press here, nothing will happen. And you see one of the most common problems when we retopologize in Zbrush, in this case, I always have this problem, is accidentally doing this kind of a, you see nothing here, but you see we have a little polygon in here. So I will Control Z to get rid of it, but sometimes you have to delete it manually. This is one of the worst things in retopologizing Zbrush, because I want to take this vertex and move it, but I just click a little bit and make this kind of a polygon in the back, and then I cannot extrude from here anymore. So yeah, Control Z will fix it. Or you can delete it. So now what I do, in order to have this brush already set and not to have to set it all every time, and to have my Z modeler brush back, I will go to brush menu and click clone. If I save as and save this brush now in the ZBrush folder, if I save it now, it will mean that in this session I will lose my Z modeler brush, which is not a problem. I will restart ZBrush, I will have both. But now I will just click clone, and then I will go again in brush menu, save as, and then we'll go to C, program files, Pixelogic, where is it? ZBrush 2021, Z startup, yes, Z brushes, and then we call it Z Retopo. Oops, not in Cyrillic. Retopo. Okay, save. And now we have this brush Z Retopo here, and I can drag it in here to be able to select it. So we have a Z modeler, I have it in my menu, but I will take, since I have enabled customize, I will take Z Retopo here and place it in this area here. So it's a little bit further away from the rest, it's more distinguishable. Now I will disable customize store config and everything should be okay. Now I am on this brush, so I can start retopologizing. And since I'm on transparent, I can move, rotate everything, my object from here, because if I don't have transparent, from here I couldn't do it. I have to go to the side. But yeah, this is perfect, we can start. So I just drag, move, drag, and then we can start working around the mouth like this, like this, like this, rotate, see, and this is pretty easy. I mean, in any program, I know how to retopologize in 3D Max, I know how to retopologize in Blender, and I choose to retopologize in ZBrush. Why? You will ask. I will tell you, but not now. Maybe in the next video. No, now I will tell you. I retopologize in ZBrush because I can, it's the only program that, now you see, I have a polygon in here, so Control Z. We have to be careful about these polygons, but it snaps. I mean, it's very nice, it snaps. So when I'm retopologizing in ZBrush, no other program can offer me to be able to fix my high poly on the go. So if I have a problem here, and for example I say, ooh, she doesn't have, the nose has to be more something. So I go to the nose, fix it. For example, bigger nose, no problem. Not that big. but you know what I mean. And then we can continue retopologizing. It's just that easy. It's, I mean, super easy. In any other program, if you want to fix the high poly, you have to take it back to Zbrush, fix it, and then take it back to the other program. I think it's not necessary. I think this, what I'm doing here, is the best. So you see how the symmetry is working. I put too much polygons here, but whatever, it's not problem, because now we are just showing the things. And yeah, this retopologizing method in Zbrush doesn't have too much automatic functions like the famous things that Blender or other programs can do automatically, put polygons and stuff. But for things that I'm doing, and I'm doing now characters for games, which are mobile games, and those games kinda have a triangular count very low. I mean, one character with armor and weapon and clothes and everything is around 7,000 triangles, which if we compare it to, for example, the girl from Horizon Zero Dawn, she has a very nice hair, if you remember the character. The hair only is above 1,000 triangles, 100,000 triangles, the hair only. So the hair is like around 12 or even 13 or 14 of our characters, only the hair. So for this to work, our characters to be, so they if they have to be looking good in game, we have to make every polygon count, so we always do it by hand. Everything is by hand. We don't use like zero measure or similar stuff. If you have a higher polygon count, you can use zero measure and then continue zero measure as a base, and then delete some polygons, do the other polygons by hand like this. It's very easy. If you want to catch more than one point, you just make your brush bigger and you catch more points. Even if I go like this, I can catch a lot of points and move them. Very easy. If I want to work only with one, I will go and just do this. And this is just by moving. I mean, I'm not using any shortcuts, short keys or something, key combinations, no. It's just moving, moving, moving. And if I have forgotten, for example, to put mustaches on her, I can easily do it and then continue to retopologize. The thing is, here the principle is the following. So we have a subtool, which is a separate subtool, which is the retopology. Very cool. We can retopologize on any visible subtool. So the eyes, for example, they are separate. You see, they're separate, but we can retopologize on them too. You see, we're going over the eyes, which we don't want, of course. So I can delete it. Del hidden. And we can continue retopologizing here. Of course, if I want to go to the eyes and do a little work there, I will go like this. I will just go make a bridge to the eye area and then continue doing polygons on around the eye until I'm happy with my overall around the eye polygons, if I can say so. But yeah, this of course are core principles of retopology of the face. You just do the mouth, around the mouth, a lot of loops. You just do a lot of loops around the eyes, each eye separately, of course. For example, now I don't want to retopologize the eyelashes. I can go ahead and just turn them off, and then they will not be included in the retopology. So I'm almost certain that nobody is doing this. Nobody is retopologizing in Zbrush except me. Maybe there are a few other people. The thing is that I'm explaining why this is very comfortable. Also, you finish your high poly model and you can start retopologizing right away. Before that, I finish my high poly model. I start preparing it, start to merge it. here and there, do this, do that, decimate it so it's lower poly, because if you try to put like 20 million polygons or more in 3D Max or Blender, you will have a little bit of a difficulty, everything will lag, it will not be a pleasant experience, so we decimate. And now you see, yeah, I have an issue here. I will Control Z. Sometimes this happens, these issues. But the thing is here, it's very, very easy. Just you're ready with your high poly, start retopologizing, not a problem. And then of course, when you want to export your high poly to use it in for baking purposes, of course you have to do every step, but you don't have to decimate anymore. The decimation you don't have to do, because it's useless. I mean, you don't need this kind of a lower high poly just to retopologize, because you can retopologize here. I don't think there are a lot of programs that can hold the polygons that Zbrush can. Yeah, Keyshot is one of the programs, and maybe Topogun, but still you have to decimate, I think. I'm not sure. One of my colleagues is using Topogun and he's pretty happy with it. But yeah, for the retopology, the thing is, it's just a personal choice. I mean, I can retopologize, I told you, in Blender, I can retopologize in 3D Max. The most comfortable I feel in 3D Max, although now, since I have made already like maybe 5 characters in Zbrush, retopologized, I'm pretty comfortable in Zbrush. So it's about practice. Everything is about practice. You can practice and you will get better. So here I will have triangle, which is never a good idea to have in this place a triangle. So I'll go to the other, the Z-Modeler brush, normal one, press delete, and I will use it as a delete brush. It's very good to have this kind of a delete brush here. Okay, you just have to put the polygons close to each other, the vertices, and they will snap. Very useful, very nice, very cool. And I will continue retopologizing, continue speaking about the... Yeah, I can do a triangle here. It's not a big issue in the area where the skin will not move that much. Although, if this is for a kind of a responsible animation, for animation movie or something, this is not a good way to have a triangle here. Probably then we'll do this. But since I'm not thinking that much here, that's why I can put a triangle here and there. But probably it's not a good idea. I mean, there are people watching, there are people that will kind of learn from this, and I want to show you the right way to do it. So if you want to, for example, to extrude like a poly loop, edge loop, yeah, you can do that. So extrude one, just hold it, then press Alt. Just tap Alt, and then you will start extruding many edges at once. I rarely use that. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Then you can press Alt again to do this. Or if you click Alt and then press and hold Alt, you will see everything is doing not good. I mean, I prefer to do everything by hand. I know maybe this is a little bit too much. Maybe I'm a little bit old school, I'm not sure. But in my case, I prefer to do everything by hand. Yeah, of course, if you have a character which is a lot of polygons, we can do one more loop around the eyes here. How? Just go here, insert. Yeah. So, yeah, if your character is a lot of polygons, has a big polygon budget, I mean, then you can, of course, use Z-Modeler, retopology. You can retopologize automatically as good as you can, because it's Not the best retopology, but you can try. Sometimes. And then, I told you, you can just fix it in Zbrush. With this method, of course. Yeah, thank you. I always thank Zbrush. When I'm making a video, of course. Otherwise, I don't thank Zbrush for this. Or am I? I'm not sure. Whatever. So, what I was about to say, I don't know what I was about to say. Just sometimes when I thought, yes. So sometimes Zbrush said this is not symmetrical. So that's why we work always on this side of the model. This part here. Not this. We work on this part, which when we see it from the front, it's our left, or the model's right. Why? Because if something happens, sometimes when you move a vertices in this side, on the other side it's moved a little bit differently, or it snaps somewhere that it doesn't have to snap, and here it doesn't, because here we are looking at here, we don't look on the other side. Sometimes it said it's not symmetrical, so we have to mirror and weld. And I kind of always do mirror and weld. I do it a lot. Mirror and weld is my thing. Here we will put triangles. I'm sorry about it. And you see how this is not exactly right. So when we mirror and weld, sometimes we get this. What can we do to fix this in the middle? I will tell you. We press X to go out of symmetry. We go to our move brush, just the normal move brush, you see, move. And we just move this a little bit out of the center to our right. And then mirror and weld will fix it. This trick I learned from a guy in YouTube. Like most of the things. And now we turn on symmetry again and start continuing. So triangles are very easy to make here. You just drag and it snaps. Sometimes it doesn't snap that easy. But most of the time it snaps. Yeah, but you see the point. You see where I'm going with this. Let's continue with the mouth. And yeah. Let's see what we can do. But if we have to go, for example, something without symmetry, to do something without symmetry, like the hair, it could be, it's not a problem. I mean, it's super easy. How I do it? I have to start the hair, for example. I do this. I do a bridge, which goes to the hair. I delete this part of the bridge. Then I just split hidden. So I use my polygons here to just make a base for this, for the hair. I go out of symmetry, delete the other one, and just start here. It's that easy. Just start here. So maybe you will ask, but are you using exactly kind of this distance from the model for your low poly? No. I always go, but it takes me like not more than 10 minutes for the whole model to go and inflate the low poly compared to the high poly. And you can just go like this. It's pretty easy. And then we have to connect them. For example, if I want my face to be symmetrical, and symmetrical also in the UVs, but the hair not symmetrical, I have to be able to make something symmetrical for the face, like this, for example, and maybe a little bit more even. But at some point I have to start, after this point I have to start to be asymmetrical, which I will do by going with this. But in order to do it well, I go to my inflate brush and just inflate it so it goes over the surface and it's visible, because otherwise it's not that visible. You see? Just inflate brush here and there, just touching, sometimes with Alt, just to push it. And then we go to the other mesh and Retopo again, and just try to adjust it manually. Like this. Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, it's a little bit labor intensive maybe, but it's not hard. Everybody can do it. You just need practice for this. Nothing more. I've practiced a lot with this ZBrush, although it's pretty new. It's less than an year old, but already, oh, we have something here. We have a problem. Yes, this polygon here. I have to delete it somehow. So I will try to move it with the move brush just to be able to see it, and then probably I will not delete it. Sometimes we have to use the move brush because this move of the vertices that the modeler brush is offering is not enough sometimes. It just don't work when our polygons are like crossed. Yeah, these kind of things are the things that you will encounter if you start retopologizing in ZBrush. They are not the worst, and I'm used to them now. And always my model, I have to kind of clean it after I finish with the retopology. I have to clean it, which I think it's fine. And I clean this kind of I clean this kind of stuff. This. And you don't see it now, but it's there. See? This one behind. And if, for example, if I leave it, if I go like this and I forgot that it's there, it's here, you know, and it's making problems later. So you have to just find it and kill it. It's not a big deal. I mean, in Blender it's very easy to fix that, in Max also. So I fix this kind of stuff there while I'm doing kind of ordering the UV map. I'm putting the UV map in order. I'm not ordering it, but yeah. I don't know what else. This is my way of doing it. I told you you have to save. I mean, if you put your brush here, you have to store config, which is in preferences. Config, store config, and enable customizer here, but I have it here. And as I told you, you can find my video about speeding up your workflow in ZBrush. There are two videos in my channel. One is for the custom UV UI, how to make it, and it will be very useful for you not to take someone's custom UI, but make it your own. For example, I was working with ZBrush for more than 3 years before I made my own UI, and I made every of those brushes, which is the most common used brushes. I made them to respond to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the keyboard, and this way I'm working like a lightning fast. That's why I'm able to make this kind of a model like this kind of a head with hair and eyes and everything just in 1 hour in ZBrush. Otherwise, if I use the normal ZBrush interface, it probably will take me 2 or more hours, even with my experience and everything. Just the normal ZBrush interface is not friendly. I think it's absolutely the worst. Just the default. That's why in my course, Absolute Beginner ZBrush course, one of the first thing I do there is to change the default ZBrush interface, because it's not good. Yeah, we can do this. We can do this. We can always do triangles and stuff. In 3D Max the triangles are a little bit difficult. I mean, it has a problem with triangles in my experience. I don't know, the newest versions maybe doesn't have that problem. But here, amazing. I mean, we can do triangles all day. I just love it. And since the triangles are not super nice to have in your model, yeah, you can have them, especially in some areas that you don't the model doesn't move at all. In armors or something, you can put a little bit of triangle here and there. It's not a big issue. Or here, we can put, oops. Let's try. Oh, triangle, nice. So let's see. Yeah, this is our thing. That's how I do it. And sometimes when I have this, I just go to inflate a little bit. And inflate, of course, is you have to know it. But inflate is in deformation, inflate here. But since I use it often, I put it there. And the goal here with the retopology is your model, the low poly, to be the closest as possible to the high poly. And since it's not that many polygons, sometimes we do this, like the high poly is visible here, but it's not visible here. It's just a matter of, yeah, and if you can do it well, then it will bake very nicely. I bake in Substance Painter, for example, and it will be just amazing. That will be it for this kind of a short tutorial. Yeah, I know it won't be very interesting for most people, but I think there will be people that will be interested, which is fine by me. I just had to do it. Maybe in the future I will make kind of a course how to retopologize and how to get the whole workflow in Zbrush, just in Zbrush. I mean the high poly, retopology and UVs, everything only in Zbrush. And then a little bit Blender and then Substance Painter, and then you're ready. So yeah, bye for now and take care. And the next video, I don't know what it will be about. Maybe again some kind of a head, girl head, a little bit less stylized, but still stylized. Why not? We'll see. If you have any suggestions, go ahead, hit me. I had suggestions for bird skull, maybe some other type of skull also I can do. And I'm thinking about horse anatomy in 1 hour in Zbrush from Sphere, which would be a very nice thing, but I have to practice a lot before I can do it, so we'll see. For now, goodbye.